Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Penrite Oil and Hare & Forbes Machinery House. Hello and welcome to another fab episode of Classic Restos. But before we go any further, why not go and buy some stuff from these wonderful people? Shannons offer us as enthusiasts just so much more. Classic bikes, cars, trucks. Bundle it all together with your house and contents and receive a multi-policy discount. Call Shannons on 134646 for a quote. Sign up for the Shannons Club. Interact with others. List your car club. Find events and so much more. The Shannons Club truly is your garage at shannons.com.au. For oil, coolants and additives, choose Penrite. They have stood the test of time. Established 1926. Australian owned, Australian made. Oil with more zinc for older style engines. No matter what the engine, no matter what the application. Contact the Penrite Technical Assistance Team 7 days a week at penriteoil.com.au. Oil right, use Penrite, simply a better class of oil. For some of the largest range of tools for all trades and DIYs, don't go past Hare & Forbes Machinery House. Established 1930, with branches around Australia and New Zealand. Their showrooms will have you browsing for hours, and no matter where you are, you can buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. From a garage jack through to a lathe, Hare & Forbes has the range. machineryhouse.com.au. And on this week's episode, it's a return to Bathurst in New South Wales, Australia, for something uniquely different. Welcome to the 2015 Panel Van Nationals. Now, if you were born before 1960, you will really appreciate what was known in Australia as the panel van. In the United States, they were called a sedan delivery. Basically, it was standard sedan up front and a ton of room out back. The panel van originated back in the 1950s, and in Australia it was available even in the era of the first shape Holden, and was classed as a commercial vehicle, and consequently used for that purpose. Whether you delivered bread, had a plumbing business or sold vacuum cleaners, the panel van was ideal for cramming stock into the back and getting to work. There were mainly two-seaters up front, and if you were lucky to have an assistant back then in the day, that was handy. Otherwise, the spare seat next to you was a good place to put your lunch. Panel vans were sold as basic. No special trim, no extra chrome, and in most cases, no chrome. Panel vans were sold as workhorses, and there were cubic paddocks of the things driving all over Australia. The big three, Holden, Ford and Chrysler, saw the market and jumped on the bandwagon, starting to produce some pretty cool models boasting some class and way cool graphics. Now, in the early 1970s, young people started to get creative with their panel vans, and they were quite appealing. Probably one factor is knowing that a mattress could be installed into the rear cargo area, even a surfboard. In fact, I think back in that time, probably half of Australia's population was concepted in the back of one of these things. Then panel vans started acquiring their own special names, like sin bins and shaggin' wagons. Call them what you will, but a panel van to most meant freedom and lifestyle. And to a lot of fathers of daughters back in the 1970s, a panel van was not that welcome in the driveway. But how cool and versatile were these vehicles? They would use them at the beaches, they'd reverse them back in and use them at the drive-ins, and some of these panel vans became so decked out and detailed they became a mobile home away from home. Here we are at the 2015 Panel Van Nationals. Now, if you're into your vans, this is a must-see event, isn't it, Andrew?
Yes, Fletch. It's the 40th anniversary of the Van Nationals and also the 40th anniversary of the Van Club.
Good on you, mate. And you're here with a very special car, an XD Falcon, 1980. Now, how many of these Sundowners were made?
Well, as far as we can find out, there was 37 made in 1980. Other people say 99, but that we found records that show there was 99 and 79, so a bit all over the place, but that's as far as we can find out.
This, by 1980, must have really been at the tail end of the themed vans.
Yeah, well and truly. Still had a bit of the 70s styling lingering in with the factory roof spoiler and bits and pieces.
The XD was a great car. When they were brand new cars, they were wonderful things to drive. You've still got the trusty 4.1, the 250 up front there. Looks like it's it's spotless. You could eat your dinner off this thing. How does the old girl run?
It's a bit of a slug, but you get there in the end. All hills you're down to third regardless, but it coasts along quite well at flat open roads.
We have a look inside. Nice original seats too. Look at the Ks there, 167,000 original kilometres.
Yeah, that's for sure. At some stage one of the seats has been replaced. I'm guessing the driver's seat was used the most. I'm guessing no passengers.
Yeah, well, that'd be unusual if the passenger side was used the most. Yeah. That's the one. Too many bums in the driver's seat. The old concave shape to the man's backside. We look in the back of this thing. Now, it hasn't had a hard life, Andrew. I mean, unless it's been, restored in the back. But I think by the look of it, I think it's come through fairly unscathed.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. The looks like the original paint that's left in the rear, as well as the original hood lining as well in place. You can still see little bits of dribble glue from Ford themselves, but in the back it's got the factory speaker, light and ashtray combo.
Right.
So a bit of a difference to all other vans. It has the flat panels in the back.
Yeah. Andrew, thanks for being on today's show, mate.
Thank you very much, Fletch, and enjoy watching your show.
Time for a bit of girl power on today's show. Hello, Karen, how are you?
Hello, Fletch, how are you?
Good, are you having fun?
I am definitely having fun.
Now tell us about your van. How long have you had it? And what was the condition when you got the car?
When we got the van, it was a rolling shell, and we purchased it off a very close friend of ours. And my husband's been building it over the last 2.5, nearly 3 years now, just for me.
1976 HX Holden, you've done a beautiful job. How does it run?
Oh, well, I haven't had a lot of chances to drive it because it's got a new motor and everything's brand new, so I call it my new Sandman.
Yeah, that's good.
And to drive up to Bathurst was so different, to have my own panel van, have the window wound down and hair blowing out and the music going. Yeah. It was just heaven.
So she's just summed it up, haven't you, Karen? You've just summed it up. I mean, that's where the lifestyle comes in. It's about having fun and getting out and enjoying the vehicles. Now, out back, incredible condition in the back there.
Yes, my husband put that together. So he's just been working just to get it ready for this big 40th Van Nationals.
Isn't it amazing? It just doesn't have to be the Van Nationals, but you hear it quite a bit. People work on their cars 24/7 around the clock, and they finish the night before to get here.
That's right. It's a deadline that's always met. You see, every vanner will just work, and they've got it down pat. Yep. It'll always be ready on show day.
Absolutely. That is awesome. Well, Karen, thanks for coming along to the Van Nationals and bringing this HX. Beautiful panel van. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fletch, and I enjoy your show.
Thank you. She says the right things, doesn't she?
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannons Home and Contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannons.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
If you need a new piece of equipment for your workshop, you need Hare and Forbes Machinery House. From a garage jack through to a lathe, Hare and Forbes has the range. And Hare and Forbes Machinery House are Australian owned, established since 1930. You will be greeted by friendly, helpful staff, and you can buy from anywhere online at machineryhouse.com.au. Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Find your closest store at machineryhouse.com.au.
She could do with a bit extra. You'll need a bit extra doing this or this. They could all do with a bit extra. And you'll definitely need a bit extra here. Our engines need the extra protection you get with Penrite's range of premium oils and lubricants engineered right here for every application under the harsh Australian sun. Penrite, a better class of oil used by a better class of mechanic. And available from over 5,000 outlets across Australia.
2015 Panel Van Nationals here in Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia. One of the organisers, one of the main men, we have Russell. Hello, Russell.
Hey Fletch, how you going, mate?
Good, mate, good. Gee, I tell you what, you've done well this year.
Yeah, being the 40th anniversary, they certainly pulled them out of the woodwork.
Isn't it nice to see so many panel vans on one occasion just grouped together?
It's fantastic, and they've come from all over Australia, and we've got international people coming to look at just the today, and it's just fantastic. So, and the Bathurst people have come out of their homes and come to have a look, and the rain stopped, and it's fantastic. So yeah.
Yeah, Russell, there's something about machinery, cars, heritage and Bathurst, isn't there?
Oh, Bathurst seems to bring everything out of the woodwork, and unfortunately until today there hadn't been a panel van event here in Bathurst, so today is it, and I think the public are embracing it, so it's really good.
Good for you. You know, years ago we used to take our panel vans for granted, didn't we? We'd see them drive past, we just looked the other way, wouldn't we?
Yeah, always just the old work truck. But once the 70s came in and the young kids started to grab hold of them and do them up, it's turned it into something that's unbelievable. Now with the artwork and the interiors, it's something you don't see on a lot of other vehicles because you haven't got the room, so it's really good.
Russell, we're in the pavilion here, in the elite section. What can we expect to see?
Well, there's a lot of past winners from the Nationals. There's about 9 past winners going back to about 1984, I think, and a lot of new vans coming on the scene that are trying to come up against them. So yeah, it's just one of those things that we're lucky that the vanners have stayed with the scene, and the new ones is trying to sort of emulate what they were doing in the 70s.
Aren't they beautiful? I mean, the different paint schemes. I said earlier, there's just no panel van the same here today. They're all uniquely different. Paint schemes, graphics, interiors, what they've done out back, amazing.
Yeah, every van's different, and it's really good to see that the people like looking at them, so it's really good. But the murals, we've got 40 or 50 vans here with murals on them, so it's a real art show in itself. So yeah, it's fantastic. But and the interiors, there's no two interiors alike, so every van you look at has got its own personality.
So if you hear anyone say, oh yeah, there's a panel van over there, oh I've seen one, you've seen them all, well that just is so far from the truth.
That's right, yeah.
Now, Russell, you stand for a good cause. You want to mention the charities of today?
Yeah, we're donating to the Prostate Council of Australia, and we've got the local Rural Fire Brigade on board, and they're doing a sausage sizzle today, and the local SES, so it's really good.
Classic Restos' first time here for the panel van show, and you guys, you get around, don't you? You just don't go to Bathurst every year. Just tell us quickly about that.
Yeah, no, it's an Australia-wide event, and we try and have it in different states so that the people in those states don't have to travel, because the Western Australians, they come over every year to the east side, and they do a great job.
Now, if you want to track the Panel Van Nationals to find out where you guys are going to be in 2016, have you got a website, Russell?
Yeah, you can get onto the BathurstVanNationals.com website. That'll sort of show a bit of information, but there's also other vanning website, just vanning.com. That's a fairly good Australia-wide one, so if they want to have a look at some of those sites, they should usually catch all the information that's going on.
Good on you, Russell. Thanks again, eh?
Good on you, Fletch. Thanks, mate.
Okay. Moving through the elite section here, the 2015 Panel Van Nationals, we have Gary. Hello, Gary.
How you going, Fletch?
Good, mate. Good. What year model is the van?
1978.
1978 Ford Escort. Not your average Ford Escort, Gary, is it?
No, it's had a fair few modifications done to it. Yeah, I don't know where to sort of begin. I spent months and months rebuilding it. It's about 18-month rebuild and then another 6 to 8 weeks doing the interior.
We alluded to earlier in the show about our panel vans of yesteryear. You'd see one go past and look the other way. The poor little underrated Ford Escort, to think that you've got this car and you've done what you have and you've turned it into an extremely good-looking thing. Not only that, you've also displayed your level of cleverness here as well, Gary.
Yeah, when I built the van, I tried to hide as much as I could on the car. When sort of making up a certain part on it, you've got to make sure how you're going to fit it without anything else interfering with it, and to get the next part on without interfering with the next part. So it's a process of elimination to build it.
Gary, if you hid any more stuff, you wouldn't be able to tell it was a Ford Escort.
No, it's right. Like there's underneath the car, there's no nuts or bolts that hold anything. All the seats are all captive on the inside. The fuel tank's captive on the inside. The fuel lines, the brake lines, everything's inside the car, under the floor. The other thing that's under the car is exhaust and tail shaft. So
you're a clever guy. What inspired you?
I had the car sitting on the rotisserie at home, and I just sort of looked at it and I thought, how can I make this better than any other normal Escort van? And just one thing led to another, and it just sort of snowballed, and ended up what I ended up today. Like there was no planning, there's no nutting out any bits of paper or anything. It was just sort of just sat there and just kept going.
Body aside, you've done a wonderful job, and we know that. What's happening engine-wise? What have you done there, Gary?
I built it as a daily driver, so I wanted the car that I could just jump in first in the morning, cold start, jump in and drive. So the engine's basically standard. It's got an RS head on it, extractors. It's been bought at 40 thou. So I wanted something just jump in and drive. You hear too many stories of guys that got twin carbies on Webbers, and they cough and fart and do all sorts of things when they're cold.
Some blokes cough and fart and they don't even have a Ford Escort.
Yeah, that's right. So I wanted something just jump in and drive, and the engine sort of stayed the same. I've just detailed the hell out of the outside of it to make it look pretty.
Mate, you've done a wonderful job. And I mean, you know, he's got his chrome pipe railing around it. You know, that's a very subtle way of saying, you know, don't come too close to it. You're on a piece of carpet here. You're up on a stand. You've got your lights going. I mean, it's attention to detail all the way. And I really commend you for that. Congratulations.
And I've owned the car since 1986. It was my first car, and yeah, I don't think I could sort of part with it.
They're going to bury you with it, Gary.
That's what my girlfriend says, yes.
Good on you, Gary. Take care of yourself, mate.
No, thank you.
One good thing about getting around these car shows is seeing event organisers from other car shows. We've got Tim now from Mid-State Mopars in Victoria. How are you, Tim?
Yeah, excellent. Flex, yourself?
Good, mate, good. You've made the trip from Bendigo in Victoria up here to sunny Bathurst in New South Wales. How did the Mopar go?
The car went very good. As normal, just get in it, kick it in the guts, and away you go. Just fill her up with fuel, and you get here. Yeah.
Congratulations, mate. You are the first Chrysler on today's episode.
Oh, thanks. There's not that many here, actually. There's only about half a dozen, 8 here.
Now, Tim, organiser of Mid-State Mopars, what's your thoughts on this event for 2015, the Panel Van Nationals?
What I found, Fletch, this has been excellently organised. You know, like we only contacted them a few weeks ago. Helpful as anything. We come here on the Friday and just checked in on Friday. Yep. No dramas at all. You can tell it's been well organised by the small committee they got.
See, now you're watching at home, it's good to hear that, because you say to yourself, oh, you know, go to these car shows, there's a bit of travel in it. You can be rest assured when you get here, it's what Tim says, it just flows along. It's a great day.
Easy, just straight through the gate, straight in, and today, where do you go? Just park anywhere you like and away it goes. No, excellent, Flesh.
Speaking of which, what's the dates for this year for your show?
Our show's the long weekend in Victoria in June, the 6th and 7th of June. Yep, and again, as we say, we take over centre of Bendigo, block off the town. The tourists, well, they can come along and have a look too, if they can get in.
It's always good to catch up with you, Tim. I interviewed you a couple of years ago here with your CL. It's good to see the old girl hasn't changed a bit, mate. Just turnkey drive it.
Turnkey drive it. Once it's finished, we like to do them right the first time. Hopefully you don't have to touch it for 50 years.
Tim, great catching up with you, mate. Nice to see you again, eh?
No worries, Fletch. Good on you.
It's time now to get down on the grass with Peter. How are you, Pete?
All right, Fletch.
That's right, mate. Mate, I love what you've done. The custom shaping here of the grille. You've cut the bar, you've dropped the grille down. It just looks so factory. It's so well done.
Yes, it took quite a lot of time. It's actually two Fairmont grills joined together. Cut the centre section out of one, plastic welded it underneath, used the bottom sections under the headlight for the sides. And it took a long time to get it right, but managed to do a reasonable sort of job of it.
Sometimes when backyard jobs are done like this, when you get up close, they look rough. But this actually looks like it's left forward that way.
That was the ultimate aim. I wanted to achieve that sort of look. I didn't want to, excuse the expression, a half-assed look. A lot of Holdens had drop grills, and I'd never seen a Falcon with one, so I thought I'd give it a go, and I was quite happy with the result.
Once again, mate, you're a unique individual with your van here today. Good on you, mate.
Thank you very much, Fletch. Appreciate it.
If you love your classic Americana, you may consider a Fletch tour. Have a look at this.
You deserve a Fletch tour. See the amazing Ford, GM and Chrysler Nationals at Carlisle events, along with museums and private collections in beautiful Pennsylvania, USA. Then it's the Motown city of Detroit and its region, taking in more die-hard stuff with incredible history. Rounding off with the Woodward Dream Cruise, the largest moving car cruise in the world.
It just makes it so much easier on yourself when Fletch picks you up, drives you around.
Laughs, lots of laughs.
More than what I expected.
I'm definitely coming back again.
Go to classicrestos.com.au and click on the Fletch Tours icon for more information. Hope you're enjoying today's show. Back with more after this.
Penrite, Australian-made, family-owned and operated. Make premium quality engine and racing oils, warranty-approved coolants, automatic transmission and manual gear oils, a complete range of engine and fuel additives, heavy-duty and industrial products for every application. Visit penriteoil.com for more information.
Penrite, Australian made for Australian conditions since 1926.
I spend a lot of time out here. The RT Charger's the real deal. An E49. Remember A-Charger? I've always got projects on the go, so Shannon's laid-up cover helps protect my restorations. I'm Mopar through and through. It's a passion Shannon's understands. I wouldn't insure my cars and bikes with anyone else.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
If you need a new piece of equipment for your workshop, you need Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Hare and Forbes Machinery House have showrooms around Australia and New Zealand that will have you browsing for hours. See the largest range of industrial and workshop DIY tools. You will be greeted by friendly, helpful staff, and you can buy from anywhere online at machineryhouse.com.au. Hare and Forbes Machinery House. Find your closest store at machineryhouse.com.au. Moving around the Elite Pavilion here at Bathurst, and we have Sue. How are you, Sue?
Good, Fletch, yourself?
Good, thank you. 1964 EH Holden, absolutely beautiful panel van. Ned Kelly. Now, where does the thinking come from? What inspired you for Ned?
Well, my mum's family, on my mum's side, her father's actually related to the Quinns, which is Ned's mum's side. So we went with a Kelly theme. So I've got a Holden EH, and Ned Kelly's the next favourite thing for all Australians. So we went with that.
God, a background, a family full of crooks.
Definitely. You can pick your friends, but not your relatives.
How cool is that to say that you've been related, well, you're related to Ned Kelly?
Pretty awesome. I just wish I was a Kelly, but I actually married a Kelly, so that would be a bit strange.
Wow. Okay, now tell us about the van, the condition it was in when you got it, and how long you've had it, and when you were actually inspired to go with the Ned Kelly theme.
We've had it for just over 6.5 years. When we got it, it was registered in Canberra. It's still on gas. It's a 308, 9-inch and Tromatic. We've done all the paint work, trim work, and it's still a work in progress. So.
Isn't that good? I mean, the EH was never a heavy car. I mean, I bet it gets along all right with the 308.
It does. It does. I want to race the husband in the Sandman, but yeah it's not going to happen soon.
She's a racy girl. But it would just give it that feel, little bits of throttle and just effortless performance and as it moves along. You've done a brilliant job on the graphics. Is that a lot of work to do that without sounding a dumb question? I mean, did it take a long time for that paint work to be done?
Wayne Harrison had it for a while, but it was well worth the wait as there's a lot of hours gone into it, and it depends on how intricate and how much detail you want in the actual murals. So.
And what were you like? Were you turning up at the panel shop every couple of days and taking photos and like keeping up on progress, or did you have the approach of, I don't want to see it until it's done?
I was nervous because it was already a nice looking van to start off with. It was just plain blue, but I love Ned Kelly, and I sent him a whole heap of pictures that we already had at home in portraits and stuff that we'd brought over the years, and I couldn't stay away. Poor Wayne, he was probably saying, not you again, you're here again. So yeah, no, he was really accommodating. He's done a fantastic job. I love it.
EH Holden, pretty cool as a sedan, let alone turning up as a panel van, and not only that, with the paintwork that you've done. Take my hat off to you. Thank you very much, Sue.
Fletch.
It's fantastic, and also got to make a comment too on the interior as well. Absolutely beautiful. Every nut and bolt on this car, no bolt unturned. Just beautiful. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Moving through, we've got Dave Cooper now from Hay, New South Wales, in the trusty old HJ panel van. How was the drive, mate?
Yeah, good. Uneventful. We got here in one piece. Yeah, no, we done all right.
I like the little tribute thing that you've done between Australia and New Zealand.
That's right.
Now, share that with us.
Okay, well, myself being an Aussie and my wife being a Kiwi, we thought we'd have to come up with a theme that was, incorporated both. So we've gone with the name Anzac. Yeah, to incorporate both.
How cool's that? The long-lasting tradition between Australia and New Zealand with our Anzacs, and this bloke here's put it on a panel van. Yep. Well, a version of that. That is very sweet.
Yeah, no, thanks, mate. Yeah, no, we like it. Look, it's nothing like the show vehicles you see, but it gets us around. It gets you out in amongst, like-minded people, and just having a good time.
One thing about classic Restos, we've seen some elite cars on today's show, but then we give a guy like this some recognition as well, where, with all due respects, I mean, you're only a couple of notches up from a paddock basher. She's just a trusty old girl. probably painted in house paint years ago. She's trusty, you love it, and that's what counts.
It gets us here, and we're having fun.
That's it.
Yep, no, that's good.
That's what it's all about. You know, you're a great fraternity, you Vanners, you really are. Yep. And it's the first opportunity for me to be here, Classic Restos in Bathurst for this year. Thanks for coming along, eh?
No worries. Good on you, Fletch.
Well, there you go. There's just some of the 2015 Panel Van Nationals, and you've seen it first on Classic Restos. In the meantime, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD boxed sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, contact information on joining us on a Fletch tour, and of course the companies that advertise on Classic Restos as well. As I say at the end of every show, until next week, no matter where you're watching from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Penrite Oil and Hare & Forbes Machinery House.